Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. Today, the Clinton campaign claiming it's un-American for Obama to stand in the way of a revote in Michigan. And Obama, in a major Iraq speech today, hammering Clinton for what he says is her wavering opposition to the war. As always, we're on their trail, assessing tonight's misstatements, cheap shots, and blunders. Here to help separate fact from fiction, cheap shot from fair game, former Bill Clinton press secretary Dee Dee Myers. She's author of the new book, Why Women Should Rule the World. Political analyst Lawrence O'Donnell and A.B. Stoddard, editor of The Hill, with us as well. All right, first up, Hillary Clinton making a last-minute campaign stop in Michigan today, a last-ditch effort to drum up support for a revote there, which now seems like a long shot. On the stump in Detroit, Clinton acted shocked that the votes in Michigan won't be counted.
Him to match those words with actions, to make sure the people of Michigan and Florida have a voice and a vote in this election. These nearly 2.5 million Americans are in danger of being shut out of our democratic process. I think that's wrong, and frankly, it is un-American.
Un-American? I'm ruling this one a Clinton cheap shot. Totally disingenuous for the Clinton campaign to act shocked that the Michigan primary won't count. They accepted these rules when the DNC voted to strip Michigan and Florida their delegates last year, and Clinton herself made it absolutely clear that she understood that.
It's clear this election they're having is not going to count for anything. I personally did not think it made any difference whether or not my name was on the ballot.
I have said I think there should be revotes in Michigan and Florida, but this mock outrage just feels totally dishonest. Dee Dee, you disagree with me?
I think she's right on the substance. I think what troubles me about it, what's a cheap shot, is to call it un-American. I think given the week that Senator Obama has had, I think that's unnecessary and sort of inflammatory, and she ought not to go there. But I think she's right on the substance. I don't mind if she uses a little passion. We Democrats have a vested interest in getting those votes counted and seating those delegates. I'd like to see it happen.
Lawrence, but passion is one thing. She knew. You can't be outraged at this point. You can say, look, I'm sorry we agreed to this. I'm sorry this is the way it went about. But to suggest she's absolutely stunned and outraged that all these people are going to be disenfranchised seems to me is mock outrage.
Well, Dan, when you juxtapose those two statements, the things she said earlier in the campaign in order to please people in New Hampshire and Iowa, with what she's saying today, this is what provokes people in the Obama campaign to murmur to reporters that the Clintons will say anything. And as you saw Hillary do this time, Hillary can do it with a beautifully straight face. It's really an absurdity. We don't have 50 primaries. All 50 states do not vote on the nominee. Michigan's not going to be one of them.
A.B.?
I agree. I mean, Michigan violated the rules. She knew it then. She said it then. And to act now like this is an electoral hijacking is not. It doesn't pass the smell test. The problem, though, for me, I mean, I think I agree with you. I just think that neither Barack Obama nor Hillary Clinton showed any kind of good faith effort to make a compromise on revotes. They just didn't show any leadership on this issue.
Yeah, but I mean, look, and I think that look, it is a shame. It is a shame that the people of Michigan, the Democrats in Michigan and Florida, that their votes won't count. That is unfortunate. But, again, it just smacks of pure politics to, at this point...
I think the circumstances have changed. I mean, to cut Hillary Clinton a little slack today on the substance and not the un-American comment, we didn't know, she didn't know in January that this election would be this close, that it would come down.
What kind of excuse is that, though?
It's a very, no,
That's exactly the point.
No, but I think it's in the interest of the party. I really do. I think this would be in the interest of the party to have every vote count, to have every delegate seated, and not to have this thing turn into chaos.
I agree with you. The problem is when it smacks of dishonesty the way this does. It smacks of political opportunism. That's the problem.
But I think she's both doing what's in the interest of her campaign and doing what I think is in the interest of the Democratic Party. So the tone doesn't bother me.
All right. Well, I'm giving this one against Clinton, giving her our first strike of the night. Next up, one day after giving his major speech on race, Barack Obama turned the page to focus on Iraq, outlining his plan for dealing with a war that's now in its 5th year. Obama used his speech today to take a shot at Senator Clinton.
Senator Clinton has tried to use my position to score political points, suggesting that because I want to withdraw prudently and would listen to our commanders on the ground, that I'm somehow less than fully committed to ending the war. She makes this argument despite the fact that she's taken the same position in the past. So ask yourself, who do you trust to end a war? Someone who opposed the war from the beginning, or someone who started opposing it when they started preparing a run for president?
That is an Obama misstatement. It is true. Clinton did vote to authorize the use of force in Iraq, and he spoke out against it in 2002. But she has been extremely critical of President Bush on the war, and that was well before she started running for president. As far back as November 2005, she was voting in favor of a change of policy in Iraq, demanding the administration provide reports on Congress on the progress in Iraq. And in August of 2006, she grilled then Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld, saying, quote, because of the administration's strategic blunders and, frankly, the record of incompetence in executing it, you are presiding over a failed policy. Look, they got nearly identical voting records on Iraq. They both now want to withdraw troops. But, Lawrence, this is a clear mischaracterization. They're both doing it, but today it's Obama.
Not a bit, Dan. Hillary Clinton started running for president the day after John Kerry lost. By November 5th of 2005, Hillary Clinton had been running for president for months at that point.
Wait, so when do we officially count Obama as running for president then?
I would say the day after John Kerry lost also.
A.B.?
Well, but the point here is she was for the war, probably having presidential candidacy considerations in 2002 when she voted for it. And then when the war became unpopular, she started to be critical. But look,
isn't it possible she actually was, is it possible it wasn't purely just political, that she came to believe that this was a mess?
Oh, yes, it's possible, but you know what? For Barack Obama to be raising questions right now about whether or not you can trust what she's saying, because she has straddled this issue unbelievably in the last year. She told the New York Times last March she's going to keep troops there, a reduced but significant force. No, she has straddled this issue.
No, but that's not the specific issue I'm talking about.
I think it's fair for him to just try to draw a contrast and raise questions about whether or not you trust what she'll do.
Oh, no, I totally think that's fair game. Barack Obama can make all the contrasts he wants, but to suggest that she only became against the war once she started running for president, I don't know how he can back that up.
Yeah, I think you laid out the evolution of her position pretty clearly. As things started to go bad, she was trying to hold the administration accountable. She was trying to get, force a change in strategy, a change in policy. Unsuccessful, but I think it was more than simply her campaign for presidency that drove that evolution of that position. You can vote against her because she voted for the war, but many people have. But I think the evolution of her position followed events in Iraq.
The problem is, Lawrence, that again, Obama, yes, he gave a speech in 2002 when he wasn't in the Senate. But then when it came to the votes, when it comes to the time when you got to actually step up, Obama's voting the same way as Hillary Clinton. Neither of them have the true moral high ground here. Obama can cite his speech, but to start attacking Hillary Clinton's position sort of 2004, 2005, 2006 doesn't seem to me to be particularly persuasive.
Well, their positions did become virtually identical for a while, right up until that vote on the Iran Revolutionary Guard this year. But yeah, that's absolutely true. But I mean, you can't take away from Obama the fact that he was at the original instance against the war. And if Obama had not been against the war before it started, he would not be in this race today.
Look, agreed. He is allowed and encouraged to talk about again and again his own vote. All I'm saying is when he mischaracterizes Clinton's position on this, at the very least doesn't have proof to say she only became against the war when she started running for president, he gets a strike. And so, leaving us at 1-1, next up.